Hello, and welcome back to my Afterfall Insanity playthrough. Last time, we were able to escape the shelter. And I'm going to be quiet for the intro here.
And so, the glorious glory ends. Only Carolina and I managed to escape it. But where are we now? The city, the sky. Ain't it all a little paradoxical? The last inhabitants of the shelter who survived the plague of madness. And at the same time, the first who managed to reach the surface. But I'm forgetting someone. I haven't seen the Colonel in person since the beginning of this mess. No wonder. People like him always have an emergency plan. Sadly, it usually only includes one person.
Alright. We're now out in the city, and Tokaj has informed us that our goal is still to, well, try and locate the Colonel. He says he and Carolina escaped together, but she kinda ditched us. Don't know why he still thinks that we're together. But let's venture out into this horrid wasteland of a city and see what new troubles await us. There's some very nice graffiti on the walls here. But beyond that, well, there isn't much to do except venture forward.
I need to find her. Looks like I have to take a detour.
There is some great ambient noises here in the beginning of the city chapter.
On the surface?
And this is a little bit of a reminder that as far as Tokaj knows, no one exists outside of the shelter. They must have been checking on what happened out here when our vehicle crashed. What that? Oh, someone's slamming a door. And a few jump scares. The development team does a decent...
You there!
The development team does a decent job here of building up ambience, at least in the first section of the city. We've already given up on Carolina, and oh, he saw someone in there, but he went away. We already have a new mission to investigate what's going on here. Ow! What a jerk.
Everything's falling apart here.
We seem to be being messed with a little bit. And this visual effect kind of makes it hard to navigate. Not to mention that it's still very dark. There we go.
God damn. That was too close.
Yeah, Tokaj was right, and that was a little close for comfort. And you want to come over here to get your next note.
So, the key is in the pot.
Well, the key's in the pot. And you want to, well, want to deal with whatever the heck that was. And head in here and get the key for the door. Excuse me.
I need to find another way.
Oh, that should be pretty easy, considering we now have a key to a door. Someone seems very determined to keep us from reaching the top of this building.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And QuickTime events again. A very forgiving QuickTime event, because I took forever to do that. Seems like our little friend here, though, wasn't quite so lucky.
I wonder what this is for. It must provide power to something nearby.
Well, that's a very astute observation.
It's not working.
Well, we'll be coming back to that in a moment. Good lord, this room is dark.
That's what I was looking for.
Someone's trespassing, I'm sure of it. I see footprints on the dusty floor, and each goddamn morning the door handle is tilted.
I need to find a way to open this door.
Copy of my key. Fucking burglars! No one's gonna enter my home after my security system is complete. No one! Let them try. Can't wait to see that.
Traps? It seems I'm not the only one they're afraid of.
Well, they don't really have...
Maybe rigged with another little surprise.
They don't have much of a reason to be afraid of you, in particular. Let's check what's over in this corner. Well...
Shit. One more fall like that, and... You.
I'm scared, Doctor. I feel like the whole world is turned against me. Do you know that feeling, Doctor?
You son of a bitch. Why have you done all this?
Ho ho! That tone is uncalled for. Every citizen of Glory who truly desired freedom wanted this. I was merely a hand that made their wish come true. Don't look at me like that. You were no different. You despised all those rules and all the people following them.
No, I was frustrated with them. Despised. I despised only the thing they represented. I never hated them. They were innocent people. They didn't deserve such a fate.
Oh, please. No one is innocent. They allowed for a police state just to live a little longer. A life like that is not living at all, Tokaj.
It doesn't justify killing all those people.
It does.
Just because they didn't share your worldview?
Yes.
Just because they were in your way?
Yes.
And the Colonels?
No.
What?
That old prick, well, let's just say he served as a catalyst for the inevitable. But I never killed anyone on his behalf.
What?
This session is over, Mr. Tokaj. It's time for you to move on.
Wait! It's not over. Not until I say so. You hear me? I'll get you! He wasn't acting on the Colonel's behalf?
And already we learned that Tokaj was full of crap when it came to the Colonel. Not that we already believed him.
Just what I need.
And we still need to go back up and pick up that fuse I neglected to pick up earlier. Now, people may not share my opinion on the what I feel is a lackluster story development in this game. But for the latter half, we're going to be seeing a lot of incredibly strange story choices. And you kind of just have to force yourself to go along with it.
Got it.
This is a tip, we're not we're not terribly close to the end of the game. with all our fuses, we come back to this and use it. Gotta plug in all our fuses first.
Power that heavy door.
And, well, we have to open a safe door. Which one would assume would be at the bottom of the building. Apparently, one would assume incorrectly. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep doing that by accident. And I kicked by accident there too. Stop it! Must have been back here somewhere. I apologize, but it's incredibly difficult to see in the darkness here. Oh, there's the safe door.
It's just a regular apartment. What's with all this security? Maybe it's for this library.
And I'm going to check something real quick. Apologies, I forgot what the button for flashlight was. It's 5 on the keypad. Yeah, didn't have to be stuck in this darkness all this long. Again, my apologies.
Archer Arms. History of arms merger. Another tale of a Polish company saved by Americans after the war.
And you can check out these books here.
Ah, yes. History of psychology. Know this masterpiece by heart. Great leaders, great madness. Biographies of ruling madmen. I can think of one more name that would fit the collection. Sniper's Armory. Usage, maintenance, evidence removal. A classic example of an instant bestseller. Of retaking Eastern Poland. Kaiser's embellished biography. Still an engrossing book, mainly thanks to the protagonist. Jan Tomasz Pastor. Selected poems. Representative of New Poland post-war period. Too much pathos, hardly interesting. The Last Cruise of Krogelitz. Book adaptation of a movie. The movie was better anyway.
I feel that a lot of these are supposed to be references that, well, US players might not get unless they're particularly world savvy. Or literary savvy, I suppose. This game is made by a foreign developer. Well, these glowing boards tell us where we eventually want to go, but for now, the only way we can go is this way.
Jesus Christ!
That was a little troubling.
For the love of God!
This is what we're supposed to be freaking out about. Though, we've already seen worse things. Not sure why this is particularly disturbing to Tokaj.
Maybe I can find a way to use it. Other than...
I assume this was supposed to be for a light? Doesn't appear to work. And there's nothing else in here worth noting. So... let's break through here. Now there is a combat feature I neglected to mention earlier in the game, and I will showcase this pretty soon. The major reason I didn't showcase it before is that, well, I'd completely forgotten about it. That we are going to drop our axe for, well, a new weapon, an improvised mace.
It's incredible that all the city lights are still working.
You have your usual weapons here, just as before, the crowbars, the axes. But they do throw in a couple new ones.
It's all over. Because everyone is dead.
Oops. Alright, okay. There you go. And already we're given a gun.
Persecution complex is extremely common on the surface.
Don't quite understand what he was referencing that to. And you see over here that we have, well, a gate with a flashing lock. That'll be our next goal. There's a saw blade here, but I would like to showcase what the improvised mace does. And if I can get it to work, you hit left shift to lock on to enemies. And, well, it was just that easy. Showing what that does, though, let me get a hold of this saw blade over here. Now, the one-handed weapons out here are really not that much different than the one-handed weapons inside the shelter.
A long, long time ago, in a cave hidden under the castle, lived a small dragon, larger than a man, able to fly and breathe fire. Each night the dragon flew out of his cave, and flying around the kingdom, he stole treasures, gold, precious gems, even expensive clothes. He didn't do that out of need, but out of pure greed. The dragon went out once again to plunder in the darkness of the night. As always, he stood outside his cave, straightened his wings, and took off into the sky. Yet he didn't know that this night, people prepared spears and crossbows, determined to kill the dragon, 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 to kill the dragon.
Alright. Well, they tried to jump scare us a little bit there while we listened to the song, or not song, the record. But, well, these enemies really don't pose much of a threat to us. And all we really needed to do was break that lock off by hitting it with anything. I was hoping my fire axe might be... no. So we might grab a hold of a different weapon. That mace seemed to be doing the trick, so we'll keep that. Now our next note is right nearby. Oh, a friend to deal with first. Now, locking on is all well and good. But most enemies will take advantage of your exposed backside and attack you. And enemies out here are not as shy about just wailing on you with their attacks. But here's the next note. Once again, pause them if you'd like to read them. But with that done, come over here to this valve. And turn it. Once again, they didn't want you just trying to twist this while enemies were coming at you, so you don't just speed run through the area. And for some unexplained reason, these enemies really don't want us to lower, or rather, extend the bridge. Someone in the back is shooting at us. I'd really like to stop them from doing that. faced with, well, waves of enemies here. Now, for the monsters in the shelter, these attack animations weren't so peculiar. We have another new weapon here, a metal sheet axe. As I was saying, in the shelter these maneuvers weren't so peculiar, but out in the city, looks really awkward. And we're already on to the next chapter. There's a crowbar there, but we don't particularly need it. What we need to do is crouch under here. Now, I said before that Afterfall Insanity doesn't really get any harder as you play. And that may have been a bit untrue. The combat itself stays just as simple as ever. Just wail on one button. But, I neglected to mention that, well, now Afterfall Insanity will like to throw ranged enemies at us, while it throws melee enemies at us. And that's, well, that's really all I meant by saying it might have been a little untrue. And we can take a broom. I suppose I said I would showcase most of the weapons, so I will try to. And we're being forced to run. And forced to shoot as we do so. Why these men and women want us dead so badly, or I suppose just men. Is beyond me. They just really hate us. And I guess I will not get to showcase the broom at all. But for now, I'll have to end this video and I will catch you all next time.